Historic Old Churchill Downs at its gayest. It's Derby Day, and 65,000 fans, including Jim Farley and his pretty daughter, are here to see the ponies run. Kentucky Senator and Mrs. Happy Chandler. Celebrities are few this year. There is a war going on, you know, but the land of mint juleps knows no blackout of pretty girls in dazzling bonnets. They're always as bewitching as ever. Patriotic high spot of the day is Colonel Matt Wynn's presentation of a $50,000 check to the American Red Cross. Now the crowd votes Devil Diver and Shutout, Mrs. Payne Whitney's entry, the favorites, as the nation's crack 3-year-olds go to the post for the richest derby on record. All ready? And there's the break. 15 thoroughbreds all the way together. With regards, number 17 on the outside nearest the camera. Pounding head-on for the first turn is a sight very few Derby fans ever get to see. The jockeying for position, the crowding, the shoving, and the pushing. Wow, what a bump! And now, With Regards is out in front. Sailing down the backstretch, With Regards still setting the pace. Valdina Orphan second, Dog Patch running third. Now rounding the turn for home, With Regards is in front, hugging the rail. Valdina Orphan second, Shutout now running third. Coming up on the outside, Alsab, the wonder horse is heard from. Shutout's in front, and Alsab's battling Valdina Orphan for second. But Shutout shuts them all out, capturing the $65,000 purse in the run for the Roses.
The camera highlights in the world of sports.
From war, hell, or high water, America's annual Blue Ribbon Horse Race goes on regardless. And for 60,000 spectators who got here by streetcar, no doubt, the getaway of the year's crack 3-year-olds is the big news of the moment. In the run to the first turn, Gold Shower, number 11, gives out with his one brief bid for glory. As the eyes of the multitude scan the field of 10 for the highly touted Count Fleet, shortest price favorite in Kentucky Derby history. Relax, honey. The Fleet is in like Montgomery's 8th Army. From here, he could make it with hobbles. And thus, the 69th, the wartime edition, the Streetcar Kentucky Derby is newsreel history.
There are better than 60,000 on hand for the 70th running of the Kentucky Derby, the All-American Turf Classic at Churchill Downs. The 16 3-year-olds are off after that $65,000 that goes to the winner, the richest purse in Kentucky Derby history. It's a toss-up race now to the fans. The winner, Pensive, is lost in the pack, running 13th. Turning into the backstretch, that 7-1 shot, Pensive is just biding his time. Jockey McCreary has several $1,000s waiting as his end of the purse if he brings Pensive home. It was the jockey who felt Pensive could win and talked Pensive's owner into letting the horse run. And when the horses come into the home stretch, Pensive really shows his class. He's still in the pack, but keep your eye on the rail. He comes now, pulling away from the field with ease as McCreary talks him home. This win means $16 for every 2 that his backers planked down. And this does it. The richest Derby goes to the horse that almost didn't go to the Derby. The mint juleps are on Pensive.
$65,000 jam rain-drenched Churchill Downs for the 1945 Kentucky Derby. But rain or shine, the old Kentucky spirit prevails, as you can see without half looking. The 71st running of America's Turf Classic. Among the notables present, the Bluegrass State's own governor and Mrs. Willis, both real Derby fans. Here's Mrs. Eddie Arcaro, whose husband hopes to win his third Derby on owner Hooper's Hoop Jr., one of 16 of the nation's top thoroughbreds in this mile-and-a-quarter test. And here they go. Sloppy going for this year's Run for the Roses as they thunder down a seagoing track soaked by 3 days of rain. Hoop Jr. out in front from the gate, leads the pack into the first turn, a length in front of Buy Me a Bond with Alexis running third. Pot of Luck and Jeep far back in the herd. There's only one horse to root for. As they come round that final turn, Hoop Jr. is delivering the goods. Buy Me a Bond fading as Pot of Luck. Darby Dieppe and Air Sailor begin their homestretch bids. Arcaro now turns on the steam for his third Derby victory, opening up a 6 lengths lead, and Hoop Jr. ramps home all by himself. For Hoop Jr.'s owner, a $64,000 purse. For jockey Arcaro, a place with a Derby immortal.
Out for the sport of King's greatest classic come the fans, 100,000 strong. A new record at famed Churchill Downs in Louisville, Kentucky. The first post-war running of the Turf Thriller finds the fans in a holiday mood as usual, and Southern hospitality is at its vintage best. The Derby without a julep is like Kentucky without a colonel, huh? A record crowd and a record wager of over 1 million smackaroos. There's a wealth of horseflesh here today, and the bets are down in this 72nd running of the Derby. Heavy favorites are Lord Boswell 1 and Knockdown 1A, main chance farm entries, along with Perfect Barham number 1C. But keep your eye on number 3, Assault. And now, 100,000 pairs of eyes, and our cameramen say, "Ah!" They're off! 17 thoroughbreds break fast in a spirited bid for racing fame and fortune. Ahead 1 mile and a quarter lies the richest purse in Derby history, over $96,000. Out front now is Spy Song setting a fast pace, and right behind him, Knockdown, hope of Mrs. Graham's main chance farm. Pounding into the turn, it's still Spy Song by a whisker, but still anybody's race. And a nervous moment for the racing fans as the 3-year-olds go down the back stretch. Keep your eye on number 3, Assault, running 5th. Assault at 8-1. The last turn, number 3 making his bid. Assault coming up on the rail. He's passing Spy Song. Jockey Mertens keeps right after the Texas-bred King Ranch entry, and Assault responds valiantly. With every stride, the doughty son of another Derby winner, Bold Venture, increases his lead. It's the most decisive triumph since Whirlaway, as Assault pounds home by 8 lengths to win the Kentucky Derby. It's Assault bringing frowns to those with the wrong tickets, but fame and fortune to a winning trio. Assault himself, jockey Warren Mertens, and trainer Max Hirsch. Winners of Turfdom's Gold and Roses, biggest Kentucky Derby of all time.
Weather cloudy, track sloppy and slow at Churchill Downs. 115,000, largest crowd in Kentucky Derby history. Turn out for the Blue Ribbon Classic of the Bluegrass Country. Mint juleps? It wouldn't be a Derby without the traditional Kentucky hospitality. At so much per, of course. Heading the list of celebrities, General Jonathan Wainwright, the hero of Bataan, and in a nearby box, Admiral Bill Halsey. If there were a white horse in this race, he'd probably bet on it. Over here, Kentucky's Governor Willis and the First Lady, making the 73rd Derby quite official. Now it's post time, and 13 parade to the starting gate. Jet Pilot number 11, a 6-1 shot, has a lot of backers. Newsreel cameras trained on the starting gate, and they're off. A fast, clean break from the barriers, and now cutting right over toward the rail from the middle of the track goes number 11, Jet Pilot. Phalanx, number 8, the favorite, off to a slow start, is back in the pack, as Jet Pilot, known for early speed, sets the opening pace along the rail. As they drive past the stands, number 9, On Trust, is right up there on the Pilot's tail. Zoom right into our slow-motion camera. Oliver Guerin, a 22-year-old Louisiana jockey wearing the colors of Elizabeth Arden Graham in his Kentucky debut, means to keep this lead if he can. In the backstretch, the pilot still shows the way with Phalanx in 10th place, starting to move up. Jockey Guerin gives Jet Pilot a magnificent ride around the turn, heading for a home stretch in this mile-and-a-quarter run. The crowd, that bet a record $1,250,000, sees a sensational finish. Jet Pilot still showing the way, but now, Faultless, the Calumet farm entry, makes his challenge. And out in the middle of the track, Phalanx opens up with a sensational stretch stride, closing the gap with every stride. But Jet Pilot's got what it takes to stave off the bid by Phalanx and win the run for the Roses by an Astro.
Churchill Downs means the Kentucky Derby, and that means excitement and thrills for close to 100,000 racing fans. It's Derby Day, a day with a kick to it, as the 74th Julep Belt Classic moves to a climax. Governors Caldwell of Florida and Clements of Kentucky are on hand, and wives of movie executives. Everyone's here, even our old friend Porter's Farmistan of Framingham, as keenly interested as any in the huge throng, out to pick a winner in this race of races. It's strictly a two-horse race, however, no place or show betting. Citation is the favorite, racing as an entry with Coal Town, his Calumet farm stablemate. As for the weather, well, it rains as they parade to the post, but stops in time for the big moment. And with a send-off from Ginger Rogers, they are away. 6 3-year-olds out after fame and a king-size price of $100,000 purse. Citation and Coal Town move right into the lead with Escadrille, Grandpere, Billings, and My Request hot on their heels. There's a mile and a quarter of sloppy track to navigate, but they're moving fast towards the first turn. It looks close in the backstretch, but no, way out in front is Coal Town, pouring on the coal, so to speak, and his backers go wild. But as they go into the turn, Citation gets up steam and goes to work on his stablemate's lead. Coal Town's lead is narrowing. Citation is coming up fast. Now it's neck and neck, and as they go into the stretch, it's Citation by a head. Eddie Arcaro, after his 4th Derby win, calls for speed, and speed he gets. Our old friend Portis feels faint. He bet an Escadrille, with its Citation increasing his lead with every thundering gallop. Coal Town and the others with Escadrille way behind. It's all Citation, just as most of the experts predicted, going on to win by 3.5 lengths. No pay, no toupee, and Farmistan becomes a nature boy. Cheers for Arcaro and Citation, the victors.
Louisville, May 6, 1949. Diamond Jubilee, the 75th anniversary of the Kentucky Derby, America's most famous race. When 14 3-year-olds bounded away for the mile and a quarter, it was just as expected. Number 5, Olympia, the favorite, charged into the lead. Capote, number 1, was right after it. Ponder, the Calumet entry, was so far back, he isn't even in the picture. When they made the turn into the stretch, Olympia was fading, and Capote, number 1, under Ted Atkinson, surged into the lead. It looked like his race. But from far back, dead last in fact, another horse made his bid. Watch number 3, Ponder, thunder around the outside. He zoomed past Capote to win going away. Ponder, number 3, Kentucky Derby winner.
It's the 76th running of the famed Kentucky Derby, the granddaddy of all horse races. Churchill Downs is turned into a seething mass of humanity as everyone stretches and strains to watch the fabulous run for the Roses. And they're off. Your host and Mr. Trouble break on top of the pack. Mr. Trouble on the outside swerves across the track, forcing the horses toward the rail. It's still your host showing the way as they come by the grandstand for the first time. Black George on the outside running second, with Mr. Trouble third. Dooley is fourth, followed by Sunglow and Greek Ship. Your host leads the pack into the first turn with Black George on the outside, second by Head, and Mr. Trouble third. In the home stretch, Middle Ground on the outside now leads. Ill Prince is moving up fast between horses with Mr. Trouble on the rail running third. It's Middle Ground flashing under the wire. Ill Prince takes second with Mr. Trouble grabbing Show Doe. The 1950 Kentucky Derby winner, Middle Ground.